This new RC car has a very unique feature, but you're going to have to keep watching to find out what that unique feature is. So this is the new UDIRC Hoonitruck inspired RC car, and it's known as the 1005 Pro. Now I love Hoonitruck inspired RC cars, and let's just appreciate the box art because it does look really cool. And this looks extremely interesting, and so does this. Now some of you may have already seen this before, but if you haven't, let's just take a look at it now because I think it looks incredible. And here it is, this is the new UDIRC 1005. Now obviously UDIRC have got a lot of their inspiration from the Hoonitruck. And the Hoonitruck is one of the most iconic trucks out there. And yes, I know we see lots of RC cars like this, but I don't care because I really like them. And I really like this. So taking a look on the outside, this thing does feature lots of molded exterior parts. Take a look at this, this looks so cool, and this does look really interesting. I wonder how that works then. So we'll get the body off, we'll take a closer look at the chassis, and then of course we're going to give this thing a run. But first up, let's take a look at what we get in the box. So in here we have some decals and the instruction manual. So of course you do need to apply the decals yourself, but before we can do that, there is something else you have to do. Here we go, you're probably thinking, he's gonna have another moan. And yes, I am, because this is one of the most annoying things that I've noticed on some of these UDIRC cars. They fit all of the exterior components over the plastic film on the body. And this means you have to remove pretty much everything just to be able to peel this off. I think it would have been so much easier if they just didn't do it this way and just put the body in a plastic bag. And all the haters out there are very quick to tell me I'm always moaning. Transmitter wise, we have a very good Dumbo RC, and this is one of the new updated ones. I've seen this before and I really like them. Now we don't get a foam grip on the wheel this time, but it still feels really nice. Under this cover we have the usual adjustments. There's also some dip switches down there, and of course the on and off switch. Up here we have the channel 3 and channel 4 button, and you will need 4 AA batteries to get you up and running, although it does look like you may be able to use a LiPo as well. Finally, we have some hex drivers. It looks like we've got some spare body clips and a cross wrench, and that is pretty much it. Now comes the part where we can take a much closer look at this truck. Now before we take a look at the chassis itself, I do want to show you the body, because under here there is a lot going on. There's a lot of screws, like I said earlier. There we have the LED light controller, but that also has another purpose. And if you can see, it does involve that servo on the back. Okay, I've made you wait long enough. Let's talk about the unique feature. So that servo actually controls the rear wing, and that's because this thing has active aero. And the only way we're going to confirm that is when we actually try this out, but I really hope it does. Now this is really cool. This is actually magnetic, and that is something I'd like to see on RC cars in the future, because that makes life so much easier. So taking a closer look under the body, where do we start on this? Because it looks very, very different to what we usually see. And I think the standout feature is the cantilever suspension. That is something we don't often see on some of these cheaper brands. And how cool is that? So it looks like we've got metal CVDs at the front, metal dog bones on the rear. On the back, we've also got a really big rear diffuser. Underneath, we have a metal chassis. Of course, this has metal diffs and ball bearings throughout. Down there, we have the battery tray, and yes, it's not huge, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to fit a decent sized battery in there. And I'm just looking through to the center, and it does look like this has a very unique drive shaft setup. Now there are a lot of unique features on this car, and another one is the transmission. Now out the box, this is 4-wheel drive, but you can switch it to 2-wheel drive, and I believe it's a simple case of flicking that switch there. But I'm going to leave this alone because I want to see how it performs out the box. The tyres feel nice and grippy, hopefully they do really well. We also have a flexible front bumper. I actually really like how unique this car is. Now this is running Hobbywing electronics and it does feature a 36, 52, 4500 kV motor, a 60 amp 2 to 3S ready ESC, which is running XT60 connectors, and you will need to provide your own battery because it doesn't come with one. Finally, we have a 6 kilogram steering servo. Now this does have a lot of LED lights on it. Let's fire it up and let's take a closer look at those. Let's take a look at the front LED lights first then. Now if we hit the channel 3 button on the transmitter, that switches on the LED light bar. You've got 2 settings for that. If we hit the channel 4 button, that switches the headlights on and off. And that looks like that only has 1 setting. Let's flip this around. It looks like we've got turn signals or indicators. We've also got reversing lights and of course brake lights. Look how cool that is. The rear wing also works with the gyro. Next up, let's see how fast this will go on 2S. Before we do that, I'm going to tell you how you can win this RC car. Now if you want to win this new UDIRC 1005, you can head over to raffle after this video. For this one, as usual, I'm capping the tickets and I'm also reducing the ticket price. Now this is the perfect opportunity to win a brand new RC car, but it also helps the channel. And I've done a couple of these raffles already and I really appreciate your support. Now if you want to take part, I will leave a link down below. You can head over to raffle after this video. Okay, so let's start the GPS. Now this does have a gyro and I have got it switched on just a little bit, just to give me some assistance when it comes to steering. That is full throttle. And that feels pretty quick. That is full throttle again. I have switched the gyro on just a little bit more because it does get a bit twitchy at high speed. Right, let's bring it back, let's see what we got. Yeah, it does get a little bit twitchy. So let's hit stop and read. 37 miles per hour out of the box on 2S. Now I am going to test it on 3S, but what I will say is I have seen another video and it does look like it may become a bit of a handful. Now I'm going to try my best to get a decent 3S run out of this. Oh! It's okay, just warming the tyres. So let's hit start on the GPS. Let's see what this can do on 3S. Right, so let's see what this can do on 3S. It is really windy today, so apologies if there's any wind noise. Let's see if we can get a full throttle pass. Oh, no! Oh, are we gonna do it? No, the back end just likes to kick out a little bit. Oh, no. Now, am I gonna manage a decent 3S pass out of this? No, just keep crashing. I think we're gonna have to give up on that 3S speed test because it just becomes uncontrollable. And the gyro doesn't really help either. I think this is definitely gonna be a 2S vehicle. Oh, yeah, I give up on the 3S. Now that's pretty much as far as I'm going to go with the 3S speed test. I did manage to achieve 46, which is actually pretty quick, but it was a struggle to keep it in a straight line. So this thing may not be built for speed runs, but what it is good at is doing this. This thing is just insane. Now I've switched back to 2S and it's so much fun on 2S. You really don't need 3S. So there we go then guys, that was the new UDIRC 1005. A really unique RC car with the active wing on the back, and of course the suspension setup is completely different to what we usually see. Now on-road performance was questionable. Yes, it wasn't slow on 3S, but it was really hard to try and get a decent run out of it. But you don't buy one of these to go really fast, you buy one of these for fun. And I think 2S is the sweet spot, and it did allow me to enjoy this truck. And as you see, I did have a lot of fun with it. So we're going to leave the video there today. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, you can win this very RC car. All you need to do is head over to Raffle straight after this video. I will leave a link down below. Cheers for watching. See you on the next one. Take care.